Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone and welcome to Bedtime Stories. You will be reading with me today. I am Jamilah Ghafur. Thank you so much for joining us today. I have a few books in mind for you and I will show you which one I've chosen. But before we start, what do we usually do? Can anyone tell me? Oh yes, absolutely right. We brush our teeth and then we get cozy in our PJs. Thank you so much. And if you've done that already, excellent, good job. And if you haven't, don't worry. After we read, you can brush your teeth and you can get changed. Okay? Before we start, I would just like to let you know that reading just 10 minutes a day really helps with your learning. It helps your long-term memory to store information and it makes you very clever. So don't forget, call your brothers, call your sisters, call your cousins, call your parents and join in reading. Just 10 minutes a day really helps you to learn and remember, it makes you very clever. So the book I've chosen for you today is called, are you ready? Zoe the Zookeeper. Wow, how many of us have read this book before? This is one of my children's favourite books too. So, Zoe the Zookeeper. Are we ready? Let's get comfortable. Okay. If there ever was a child who loved animals, it was Zoe. She read about rhinos. She watched films about flamingos. She was crazy about crocs and balmy for bears. She laughed at lemurs and smiled at snakes. But elephants were her favourite of them all. There wasn't a single creature that she didn't like. When she grew up, Zoe wanted to be a zookeeper. What's your favourite animal? Maybe you might be a zookeeper like Zoe. Looking after animals is also part of our religion. Every weekend, Zoe begged her parents to take her to the zoo. After all, how was she going to become a zookeeper if she never met any animals? Off Zoe goes to the zoo. When they finally agreed, Zoe could barely hide her excitement. She was so happy she packed a bag with everything she thought she'd need. Little Zoe, she's so excited. But when Zoe and her parents arrived at the zoo, the gates were shut. The zookeeper looked upset. He didn't want to close the zoo, but there was far too much work for one person. I can help you, said Zoe. I know lots about animals. Maybe I could be your assistant, Zoe insisted to the zookeeper. Yes, please, said the zookeeper. There are so many jobs to do. Shall we start with the bear? Oh, Zoe's so excited to help the zookeeper, isn't she? Boris says he's hungry, explained the zookeeper. But he won't even look at a salmon sandwich. Salmon, said Zoe. No wonder. How many of you like salmon sandwiches? Looks like Boris doesn't like salmon sandwiches. And she pulled from her bag a big, soft and totally delicious peanut butter and cucumber sandwich. How many of us like peanut butter and cucumber sandwich? I know I like a peanut butter sandwich, but I don't know about the cucumber. What? That should do the trick, said Zoe. And it did. What's next? Asked Zoe. So she managed to get the bear to eat. Let's see who's next. Do you think Zoe can do it? When they got to the elephant, it was clear that she wasn't happy. "It's Ellie's birthday today," muttered the zookeeper. "And, well, I forgot." "Don't worry," said Zoe. "I've got just the thing." From her bag, she pulled out a fabulous, fancy birthday cake. There were also some beautiful balloons to make sure Ellie had a smile. "Happy birthday, Ellie," said Zoe. The zookeeper and the elephant looked impressed. They were very happy. "What's next?" asked Zoe. Zoe's doing quite a good job so far, don't you think? Zoe knew as soon as she saw the cheeky lemurs causing chaos, all they needed was a good story to calm them down. And Zoe knows just the right story to read to them. And that the flamingo just wanted something to dance. Zoe knew just what to do. What do you think she did? She put on music for the flamingos because flamingos like dancing. It turned out that the tiger needed a tennis partner. So what do you think Zoe did? She became the tiger's tennis partner. Now the tiger was no longer sad. And the gorilla just wanted everyone to give him back the cards they'd hidden from him so he could play his favourite game in peace. Gorilla liked playing card games. So what do you think Zoe did? She gave him the cards. Absolutely correct. Which they did. And when Tiger was tired of tennis, he joined in too. Shall we see what's next? Zoe was rather pleased with herself in the morning for her morning's work. And so was the zookeeper. He could open the zoo to visitors once again. "But I don't know how you did it," said the zookeeper. "But that was amazing. You're a natural, Zoe." The zookeeper was so happy with Zoe's work. "When can I start?" Zoe asked excitedly. "I think you already have," the zookeeper laughed. Do you think it would be fun to visit the zoo? And what would you do if you was in the zoo? If you was the zookeeper's assistant, how do you think you would help? Would you be like Zoe and help the zookeeper? Would you make the animals happy and feed them? You could find out. Maybe you could go to the zoo in your next school holiday and see how many animals you could help to look after. So that was Zoe the zookeeper. Are you tired yet? Should we read one more story? Come on then, I'll choose one more story for you. This time, I will choose one of my very favourites. Oscar got the blame. Now, before I start, how many of you have younger siblings who often do things and say, "It wasn't me," and then your mummy and daddy end up blaming you because they think it was you? How many of you didn't actually do it, but it was your younger sibling, or it could be a cousin or a family member? And it's not nice to get blamed. So today I have chosen you another story because you've been sitting so nicely and listening so well. I've chosen a book called Oscar Got the Blame. Here's Oscar, and he got the blame for something he didn't do. Shall we find out? Let's get started. Okay. Oscar got the blame. This is Oscar. Hello, Oscar. And this This here is Oscar's friend. We can't see him, he's invisible. His name is Billy. Oscar's mum and dad think Oscar made him up. They think Billy doesn't exist. Whenever Oscar talks about Billy, his mum and dad said, "Don't be silly." That rhymes, doesn't it? Billy and silly rhyme. It's a rhyming word. But Oscar and Billy were the best of friends, day and night. Sometimes Oscar let Billy have his dinner. There's Billy, but he's not there. But then had to eat it all himself. Mummy wasn't very happy. Oscar wasn't very happy either. When Billy left bits of mud around the house, all around the walls, Oscar got the blame. Poor Oscar. Mummy was shouting at Oscar. When Billy dressed a dog in Dad's clothes, Oscar got the blame. Look how angry Daddy is. Oh my goodness. He's very, very cross. When Billy put frogs in Granny's slippers, Oscar got the blame. When Billy made breakfast, guess who got the blame? That's right. Oscar got the blame. When Billy washed the cat, oh dear, Oscar got the blame again. Poor little cat, he's all wet. And when Billy left the bathroom taps running, Oscar got the blame again and was sent to bed without a story. "It's not fair," said Oscar. "Nobody believes in my friend Billy." "They never do," said Billy. Should we take a look at Billy? Look at his face. There's Billy. And that's the end of the story. Now, Oscar claims he didn't do anything and it was his friend Billy, his imagination friend Billy. Do you have a friend who does things and it wasn't really you? Or is it really you? This is one of my favourite stories. So what do you think we've learned from these bedtime stories today? Our first one was about Zoe the zookeeper, and our second one was about Oscar who got the blame. It's okay. Zoe is kind and she likes to be helpful. She wants to look after animals, doesn't she? And when she grows up, she wants to be a zookeeper. So maybe we could think about what we like to do and how we can be kind, or what type of jobs we might want to do when we grow up. And Oscar, well, he told his parents it wasn't him, but he always got the blame. So maybe we can learn to tell the truth. If it was really us and we did something, it's okay. Just say it was me, and you can say sorry and apologise. And then Mummy and Daddy won't get angry. So I think Oscar needs to tell the truth. Do you think, guys, we've got time for one more story? What do you reckon? I think we might have time for one more story. You've been sitting so good today, and you've been sitting so quietly and really concentrating, and that is fantastic. So I think I will read you one more story. What do you think? Is that a yes? Okay. How about, who has read this one? 101 Dalmatians. These puppies are so cute. Who has seen the animation of 101 Dalmatians? Have you seen it? I have. I watched it with my children and they really like it. The little puppies are so cute. Shall we find out what happens in this story? Let's go. "101 Dalmatians." Roger Radcliffe was a musician. He lived in a little flat in London with Pongo. One day, Roger got married. His lovely new wife was called Anita, and she had a beautiful lady Dalmatian called Perdita. Soon, Perdita was expecting her first litter of puppies. Life seemed perfect until one day an old friend of Anita's called Corella Deville came to visit Perdita and Pongo. Perdita and Pongo were frightened to see her. "Where are the puppies?" Corella demanded. "They're not expected for another 3 weeks," Anita replied. "You must let me know when they arrive. I just adore Dalmatian puppies. Their coats are so beautiful." And with that, Corella swept out the house in a flurry. Oh, I don't think Corella sounds very nice. Three weeks later, Perdita and Pongo became the proud parents of 15 puppies. Roger, Anita and Nanny, the housekeeper, were delighted. They were very, very excited and happy. The very next day, Corella returned. 15 puppies, she cried excitedly. "I'll buy them all." "Oh, no, you won't," said Roger. "They're not for sale." "You fools, you'll be sorry," Corella cried, storming out of the house. One night soon after, Corella's henchmen, that means the workers that work for her, Horace and Jasper, lay in wait to dognap the puppies. It's a bit like kidnapping, but it's called dognapping. They sat in their van and they waited for Roger and Anita to take Perdita and Pongo for their evening walk. Oh my, what do you think is going to happen next? Let's find out. Once the coast was clear, the Baddens forced their way into the house. When Nanny tried to stop them, the Baddens looked up in a broom cupboard. By the time Nanny managed to escape, the Baddens were gone, and so were the puppies. The police immediately launched an investigation. They wanted to find out what happened to the puppies. But as the days went past, the puppies were still not found. At last, Pongo and Perdita, the humans aren't getting anywhere. We'll have to find the puppies ourselves. Pongo decided to try the twilight bark. This was the quickest way for dogs to send and receive news across the country. That evening, when the two Dalmatians were taken from their walk, Pongo barked the alert. 3 loud barks and a howl from the top of the Primrose Hill. After a moment, an answering bark was heard. "It's the Great Dane of Hampstead," Pongo said to Perdita, and he barked out a message. Danny, the Great Dane, was very surprised by the message. 15 Dalmatians of puppies have been stolen. Oh dear. He told a terrier friend. The humans haven't been able to find them, so it's up to us to send out all dog alerts with the twilight bark. Danny's big, deep voice began to send the news all over London. 2 mongrels heard the alert. One said, "I think we should let the rest of the country know." And so, within the hour, word spread north, south, east, west, all over England. Before too long, the twilight bark reached an old sheepdog called Colonel, who lived in a farm. Colonel's friends, a horse named Captain and a cat named Tibbs, listened too. They were all very surprised to hear that 15 puppies had been stolen. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine if your puppies got stolen or your kittens? How would you feel? Would you feel happy or would you feel sad? And would you send out a search party maybe to find them? Shall we find out what happened next? "That's funny," Tibbs said to Captain and Colonel. "I heard puppies barking over the old DeVille house last night, but no one lives there," said Colonel. "We must go and see what's going on." So Colonel and Tibbs went quietly up to the house and peered through the broken window. Inside the house, Horace and Jasper Badham were eating supper and relaxing in front of the television. All around the room, there were no puppies, not 15, nor even 50, but 99 of them. 99 puppies. Colonel quickly returned to Captain's stables and loudly barked the good news. Within no time at all, the twilight bark sent the message all the way back to London that the puppies had been found. It's finally reached the ears of Perdita and Pongo. They set off across the snowy countryside as fast as they could to rescue their puppies. Meanwhile, Sergeant Tibbs was keeping watch of the house. When he saw Corella drive up in front of the door, he went to the broken window to hear what was happening. Corella was ordering the Badhams to get rid of all the puppies for good. "I want their skin for coats," she said. "I'll be back first thing in the morning." And with that warning hanging in the air, she turned and she was gone. Corella was not a nice lady. She wanted to hurt the puppies and use their skin to make her coat. Tibbs was horrified. That means he was really, really scared. Fur coats from puppy skin? What a terrible thought. There wasn't a moment to lose. As soon as the Badhams began watching television again, Tibbs crept through the broken window and whispered to the nearest puppy, "Tell everyone they must escape. Corella is after your coats," said Tibbs. Tibbs was the friendly cat. When all puppies had been alerted, Tibbs led them to a hiding place. Oh, poor little puppies. They must be so scared. As soon as Badham discovered that the puppies had gone, they searched all over the house and eventually found them Cowering, hiding under the staircase, Tibbs was in front, ready to protect them from the Baddens. Meanwhile, Colonel had met up with Perdita and Pongo and led them to Deville House. They arrived just in the nick of time and quickly bounded into action. Perdita attacked Horace Baden, while Pongo tore at Jasper Baden's trousers. Oh, those baddies. Under cover of the fight, Tibbs led the puppies out of the house and to safety. Well done, Tibbs. What a clever cat. Leaving the Badams in a heap on the floor, Perdita and Pongo dashed after the puppies. Are our 15 all here? Asked Perdita anxiously. Your 15 and a few more, replied Captain. There are 99. 99? Said Pongo, astonished and shocked with the news. So thank you so much for joining me today, Bedtime Stories on IQRA Bangla. I'm Jamilah Ghafur and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Please don't forget, brush your teeth and get cozy in your PJs. See you again soon, inshallah. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.